Time flies like an arrow. Fruit glides like a cable-knit sweater and a salad with French dressing. When I was in college and law school, I worked a number of interesting part-time jobs under the work-study program. I cleaned test tubes for a biology lab one summer. That fall, I did a stint cleaning the gravel that had been used to encourage the mating of certain amphibians. I also worked in several dormitory cafeterias loading a massive dishwasher so that the servers would not run out of dishes before everyone was fed. I finally landed a clean, boring job in the psychology building listening to beeps and pushing a button to assure the grad student outside the sound booth that I had heard them. I have no idea what he was trying to prove, but you could do worse things for a paycheck, as I've already mentioned. The most amusing job I had was cleaning fruit fly cages. Fruit flies, as it turns out, are very useful scientific specimens, and the lab where I worked provided the little devils for anyone on campus who needed them. They breed a lot, and the honeymoon suites they used had to be spick and span to assure the quality of their offspring. Naturally, the grad students didn't want to do the dirty work. I didn't want to do it either, but there was that paycheck thing to consider, and I liked to eat. I wouldn't have minded it as much if the hazards of the job were limited to extracting fruit fly poop from plastic bins. However, many of the subjects got loose and were on hand to watch me do my work, hide in my hair and clothing, and generally make pests of themselves. You would think that someone who knows the hazards she is facing would be better prepared. After all, what construction worker would wear a straw hat rather than a protective helmet on the job? What surgeon would use her home can opener to sharpen her delicate instruments? What work-study student would wear a cable-knit sweater to work in a fruit fly factory? You guessed it. Aren't you glad I'm not doing your brain surgery? It was cold outside when I elected to wear my favorite sweater. I had to walk about 20 blocks from the biology building to the dorm, and the fruit flies I carried with me did not make their presence known during my walk. I didn't think of them at all until I was sitting in the cafeteria enjoying my salad. As it turned out, my passengers were enjoying my salad with me. Not only did I provide them with a smorgasbord, but they infested the whole cafeteria. There weren't enough of them to do the job in one sitting. It took a few weeks for them to be everywhere. But as I mentioned earlier, they breed fast, and very soon there were zillions of them flying around, providing extra protein to unsuspecting diners. A couple weeks went by when I heard that the cafeteria was experiencing a fruit fly infestation, and they couldn't figure out why. As far as I was concerned, they never would. However, that was the last time that I wore that particular sweater to work.